Give that stream a moment to catch up, and then we'll roll. Scoot up a little bit here. Oh, have a little bit of coffee. Hi everybody. Poke my head in just a little bit. Hi everybody. I'm Zach from the Foundry Cast. If you're a follower of our page, you might have seen a bunch of updates over the weekend. It was Raleigh Supercon 2018, the second Raleigh Supercon, and that has come to a close, sadly. It's Monday morning, and what I thought I'd do today is unpack my con bag. There's a couple bits of swag in here that I'll show off, but mostly I wanted to show you the bag that I carried pretty much the entire weekend, which kind of was a killer on my shoulders. I'll get to that. But give you an idea of what I carry with me at a convention, why I have the stuff I have. Maybe it'll give you some insight on some things you might want to carry with you when you go to some nerd cons either this year or in the future. So yeah, let's get started. So this is my little bag. I found this, I think, at a like a Staples or something off a supply store. I grabbed it because it's convertible. It's got a bunch of pockets, but on the back of it you can see it's got shoulder straps like a standard backpack. It's also got a single strap, so you can carry it as a messenger bag, and it has a handle too on the top, so you can carry it different ways. It makes it a little bit more comfortable. I think you can switch back and forth, and you know, when you're in the vendor space, you need to compress down, you can put it into messenger bag mode and kind of hold it close to your stomach. If you're walking around the con, you can throw it on your back and relieve some pressure. So different options. Like I said, it did wear on me, and it's a very comfortable backpack, but I had a lot of stuff in it, especially the first couple of days where I had extra camera equipment that made it a little heavy. So when you're looking for a bag to carry at con, number one thing, just like with just about anything else you take, shoes, anything like that, is comfort. You want to make sure it's going to be comfortable to carry, and plan ahead that it's going to have more weight than you think, because you're going to buy stuff at the vendors that you're going to put in your bag. So make sure it's going to be comfy to carry with the weight that you need it to have. Beyond that, it's a pretty normal little bag. It does not have, excuse me, a great place for pins and patches. The outside is actually, I think it's semi-waterproof, which is great. It's very strong and robust, but it means I can't put stuff, so the only place I can put my pins is here on the shoulder strap. I like collecting pins. This is just a small portion of what I have. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, also keep that in mind, stuff where you want to put your nerd pieces of flair. Okay, so I tell you what, we'll just go to the main pocket since it's open. So down in the main pocket, I was carrying, I think I already took it out, but I have my laptop in here, just in case I needed to do any work for the website while the con was underway. I've got a notebook and pens so that I can take notes or make quick marks or pass a note to somebody if I need to. I have a few Foundry Cast items. You might remember these if you're a fan of our work. Our venture cards, we're wanting to do more of these, but I grabbed some of those to carry with me just in case I wanted to show those off to anybody. Also the con guide. Most cons are going to give you some sort of guide you can take with you, so always handy to carry it with you in case the app fails or you need to make notes inside of that, or if you need autographs from a celeb or something like that. The other side of the pockets had some good old-fashioned P-Joy from the good folks who make Pocky. I like this better, by the way. The chocolate's on the inside, you get more chocolate. They're delicious. Anyway, make sure you're going to have some snacks in there, and then drinks as well. I actually got one of these handsome mugs at Raleigh Supercon. You can see their logo there. Cool vendor that if you bought the mug, you got free refills of soda from their stand the entire day. So that was handy. It meant I could just carry the mug and swing back there and get some sugar and caffeine, which was very helpful. I also had a thermos in my bag with some delicious beverage that I've done some blog posts about in there, so you can probably guess what that was. But yeah, I usually use the main pocket. Ooh, speaking of, there's a little P-Joy that fell out, but I'm not going to eat that right now because I don't know where it's been. The main pocket I use for sensitive stuff, camera equipment, anything I need for production, anything that's going to be delicate, and also typically for my drinks and things like that, just to secure them to make sure they're not going to get knocked around and broken and make a mess. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I had in there. Well, I did have, okay, this is the lanyard that my con badge came on, I switched lanyards, and actually I'll show you. I think I have it in bigger outer pocket. I switched to my Dragon Con 30th anniversary lanyard just because I like it a lot. Always make sure you bring an extra lanyard just in case, because you never know when you're not going to get one, or you're going to need an extra one, or you're going to want to swap around. There's almost always vendors that are going to sell those to you as well. And of course, don't forget your con badge. This was around my neck the whole time. I just threw it in the bag at the end of the convention, but that's this year's badge. So in this larger pocket on the outside, I've cross-mixed a little bit, but I was mostly thinking in this pouch, because it was larger, more business stuff, quote unquote. So for Foundry Cast, I had a stash of our business cards that I could give out or show off, some more pins and things like that, and then also first aid. I actually just threw my first aid kit in there. I've had a little light first aid kit that I use for backpacking and hiking, short distance stuff. But inside, it's a full kit, and I added a bunch more to it. So we've got a bunch of ibuprofen and other painkillers, bandages and stuff. You're not going to need scissors and all the actual trauma stuff there, but it was in the pack, so I thought, why not? Main thing would be, again, painkillers, ibuprofen, and aspirin. I always try and carry a variety just in case if I'm giving some to friends. You never know who's going to have an allergy to something. Also some simple bandages, band-aids, antibiotic cream, anti-itch cream, those kinds of little things that you don't necessarily have to have. But hey, if something happens at the con where you get a cut or you hurt something, and you can pull out that little bit of that cream that's going to help make it feel better, it just makes your day a lot better. So the little things that you don't think you might need, but then when you have them and they're there, you're a lot happier. And if you can find a small, light way to do that, that's great. Yeah, same thing for, at the con you're eating bad and drinking bad, so antacids are always a great idea. These are kind of a must-have, I think, in every bag. Is hand sanitizer. Anything you can do to fight off the con crud. You're amongst thousands and thousands of people. Again, you're not eating good. You're not getting nutrients you need. You're not probably sleeping particularly well either. Nobody else around you is, so immune systems are suppressed. You have to be really careful about that. So whenever I stop, especially before I eat or drink anything, I'm going to take some of this and splash it on my hands, just in case. I'm usually pretty lucky with con crud. I've gotten it a couple of times from Dragon Con, but mostly I generally don't get a lot. Part of what I find helpful with that is, drink some juice. You can do the emergencies if you really want to, although I don't know how they're effective, but things like that to give you some extra vitamins, a little bit more than you normally have. And also I've found hydrating. If you hydrate really well before and during the con, I find it helps me a lot to stay healthy and feel better. I've got some other little things, like I said, little business things, a highlighter and stuff like that. These were supposed to be in the other pocket, but I ended up having my charger and earbuds and stuff kind of migrate over to this as the day went along. But earbuds are great if you need to take a break and chill out. For me especially, I'm kind of an introvert, and being around thousands of people constantly kind of wears on me. So it's kind of nice to be able to find a corner and stick these earbuds in and watch a video or something and kind of chill out and break away from the crowd, at least slightly in your mind. The charger stick, this is kind of a cheapo one I got online. A lot of cons will have vendors that sell these, but again, you can get them online really inexpensively. Highly recommended. You're going to be on your phone a lot if you're anything like me. You're going to be taking pictures and video. I was live casting a lot for the Foundry Cast, so I needed extra battery, and the plugs on the walls tend to get taken up at cons pretty constantly, so it's hard to find a spot sometimes, or maybe you're in the middle of a panel and you're nowhere near a plug in the wall. So if you can pull this out and get a charge on your phone really quick, that's super helpful, or any other electronic devices you've got. I always carry an extra couple of cords too for charging, just in case. You never know when you might lose one, or your friend might need one. So extra cords, extra plugs, extra battery packs if you can, if you have them. They're all really great. I've got some other little random stuff. These actually came in handy. Moist towelettes, if you can find these little packets. A few of those thrown in there are great after you eat, because usually the food you're eating at cons is kind of unpleasant and messy. Let's see. Got some gum. Oh, a D20. because you never know when a game of D&D is going to break out. Some toilet paper, just little bits of napkins and things like that. Sanitary items are always nice. Some chapstick, because that's important, especially if you're going to be a little less hydrated than you want to be. Also usually throw in a multi-tool. You never know when you might need to make a change on an electronic device, bend a cord or something, bend a prong back. I know that's not the best way of doing things, but it happens sometimes. And yeah, let's see, I had some more medicine and stuff tucked away in here. Oh, actually, if you're like me and you wear glasses, or if you just use electronic devices when your screens get dirty, these little glasses cleaners are awesome. I have a stash in there, and then if I need to clean my glasses really quick, just pull one out, and they're disposable. No muss, no fuss. Get rid of fingerprints and all that stuff. I also use this space for keeping cards for vendors that I like. This guy, Doug, I don't know if it's Hopes or Hops, really great artwork. You're going to find that a lot at conventions. You're going to be on the vendor floor, and you're going to see a lot more that you want to buy than your budget's going to allow. So grab the cards of the people you like, because they've got websites. I can always go and pick up some of his art after the fact. It's nice to buy it at the convention because it makes it a little bit of a souvenir, but hey, if you really want it, you can always go back later and grab it. And that's about it. I also got my little patch I grabbed. I haven't put that on the outside of my bag yet. I'm probably actually going to physically sew it into part of my bag, although it looks like it's iron-on as well, but I don't think that's going to take to this material. So again, if you're a big patch or pin person, keep that in mind when you're selecting your bag, the material on the outside. My last little pocket was, like I said, originally kind of where I was keeping my charger and stuff, but it ended up migrating over. I do have, it's empty now, but 5-hour energy, along with carrying some nutrition with you, these can be lifesavers. As I've gotten older, I find that they are no less effective, but a little bit more impactful. I don't like to drink a lot of these kinds of things. A good old-fashioned cup of coffee in the morning is pretty good, but a weekend full of drinking 5-hour energies kind of takes a toll. What I have found, again, is hydration keeps me more awake and going better than relying on energy drinks, but your mileage may vary. Either way, it's always a good idea to have one of those in there just in case you need to pick me up. A pair of sunglasses, didn't really need those. This con is fairly small, so it was indoor. I was indoors pretty much the entire time, but other conventions where you're moving between spaces, crossing streets and stuff, don't forget a pair of shades. Oh, there's another lanyard in there just in case I needed it. I've got some note cards down in here too, again for panels or making giving information to somebody is always handy. And the rest looks like some gum and stuff that found its way in there randomly. So yeah, that's about it. The biggest thing that I didn't pack, and it was mostly due to time limitations because I had a really busy week leading right up until basically till the con started, so I didn't get a chance to get a whole lot of stuff, was snacky type things. My most effective thing for me personally is a good old-fashioned Cliff Bar, any sort of granola bar, something that's going to be filling in the short term and give you 200-300 calories to shoot you through. Remember that the food at the convention is bad for you generally, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I enjoy bad for you food, certainly, but it's also very expensive. So between those two, you don't always want to just eat the pizzas, the little mini pizzas the vendors give you. Throw something a little healthier in there. Like I said, I think a Cliff Bar is a great choice. It's not super healthy, but it's a lot better than a pizza. But that plus a bottle of water or a vitamin water or something like that is going to give you a little bit of a boost and save you from having to drop, $15 on a plate of food instead of just a $3 bar and a couple dollars for water or whatever the case may be. So I didn't do a great job of that at this con, but again, I knew I was there a little shorter. I was commuting to the convention. Generally, if I'm somewhere like Dragon Con where I'm there, it's a weird paradox where if I stay at the convention, I'm on the floor more than I am when I commute because I know I don't have to worry about getting back to my car, whatever the case may be. So typically at a bigger convention like Dragon Con where I'm staying there, I'm carrying more food and water with me. But The other thing, like I was talking about at the start of the video, if think about weight as you're doing this. The more you pack in, the more liquid, especially, is kind of heavy. The more food items, the more liquid, the more that kind of stuff you're throwing in your bag, the heavier it's going to get. And you also want to make sure not even just the weight, but the space. That's why I tried to keep most of my food and anything small in these outer pockets and reserve most of this inner pocket, especially this side of the inner pocket, for merch that I was buying at the convention. You know, I like to get, for example, like Magic cards. There's always good deals on those, and if you get a sleeve of Magic cards, they're big and bulky. So some space for that is nice, especially if the vendor doesn't have bags to carry it in. But I prefer to keep everything in one place and just compress everything down, keeps space at a minimum. Makes it easier to maneuver. So yeah, that's my con bag. I hope you found this video helpful for you if you're been to conventions, or if you're planning to go and you're wondering what to put together, what to carry with you. Just some insight on what I do, and I change it up for every convention too. Like I said, with this one being a little smaller, I knew what more I could carry. Some things I wanted to carry more of, some things I wanted to carry less of. So plan ahead, or at least try to plan ahead on those kinds of things. But yeah, I guess that's about it for the insight today. Had a blast at the convention. We did some wrap-up stuff last night. We'll have a video up later this week. In fact, I'm hoping Wednesday afternoon, evening, a full recap video that'll have some great footage that we shot all throughout the weekend, and give you our reflections about it. But overall, had a ton of fun. Sad it's over. But hey, I've got Dragon Con coming up in 30 days, so I've got something really great to look forward to soon. So, but yeah, thanks for joining me today for this quick look at what was in my con bag, and we will see you guys next time on the FoundryCast.